Nou vandag is Wêreld-bewusmakingsdag vir diabetes en ons moedig jou ook natuurlik aan om blou aan te hê en die 5 te ken. Watter 5? Die 5 mees algemene tekens dat jy dalk diabetes het. En vanoggend is dit so voorreg om met Siyabonga Kwanele Zuma te gesels spesifiek oor hierdie onderwerp. Good morning, Siyabonga.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm great, thank you, and thank you so much for taking time this morning to speak to us. I want to start with the main thing, and that is how many people in South Africa actually have diabetes?
Well, I online say I'm sure about the stats, but the stats are quite staggering. All I know is that diabetes is the leading cause of death for women and the second leading cause of death for men. So I'm sure that paints a picture how much of an issue it is.
Wow.
At least 1 in 2 people with diabetes is undiagnosed. So half of the people suffering from diabetes aren't even aware of the fact that they have diabetes. And in South Africa, it's such a problem, especially with modern living, with the way when it comes to the food we eat and the lifestyles we lead. It's such an emotional issue and with such a huge impact.
It is very huge impact. Like you said, 1 in 2 people don't know that they're diagnosed with diabetes. Yesterday, I read something that said around 3.2, 3.5 million people in South Africa don't know that they have pre-diabetes, which is really an issue. And it paints a picture of how much there's little to no awareness when it comes to diabetes, especially symptoms of diabetes.
Absolutely. Sorry. Why is this a cause so close to your heart? Why do you feel so passionately about it?
Well, I feel passionate about it because I've been living with type 1 diabetes for 15 years now. I lived over a decade keeping my diabetes a secret because of the diabetes stigma. And everyone out there, I didn't know much about diabetes, which made me feel ashamed to be living with diabetes. And when it comes to the stigma, people will always assume that since you have diabetes, it's because you ate too much sugar. People believe that it's for the elderly. And I was diagnosed at the age of 12. So it wasn't easy for me to come out and say I'm living with diabetes because of that. So I didn't feel empowered. But now that, ever since I came out public in 2020 that I'm living with diabetes, that's when I started to feel empowered and I started making connections with people living with diabetes. And I saw how much of an impact that is to speak about it, because it also gives someone else that kind of courage to come out and not be in the dark hole that I was in. So I'm very passionate about it because I don't want people to go through what I went through for over 10 years.
Siyabonga, especially when we come to the big 5 that we need to know when it comes to diabetes. There's 5 symptoms that all of us need to look out for. 5 things that we should be aware of. What are those 5 symptoms that we need to look at?
So in order, they are needing to pee, thirst, hunger, weight loss, and exhaustion. Those are the 5 symptoms you need to look out for. But with that being said, it doesn't mean that if you only have 1 or 2, it means you don't have diabetes. You can have 1, even 1, you can even 1, and you could be living with diabetes. So it's just smart to get screened.
And I almost said, but those symptoms look like ordinary life. That's probably why people are undiagnosed, because the symptoms looks like ordinary things that you experience in ordinary life, but still there's a deeper root. So it's very important for everyone. Don't even geen nie om of jy wonder of jy diabetes het nie. Gaan en toets vir diabetes. And is it a genetic thing? Does it go through families? Does it run through genes, or is it environmental?
Yes, it can be a genetical thing. When it comes to type 2 diabetes, You can be diagnosed with type 2 diabetes if maybe you have family history with diabetes. But when it comes to type 1 diabetes, there's really nothing you can do to prevent type 1 diabetes. But type 2, you can develop type 2 by maybe, let's say, you don't exercise much, you have an unhealthy diet, you are obese. That's when you are at risk of having diabetes, which is why we should, healthcare facilities should target screening those kind of people so they curb and prevent the spread of diabetes.
What is something you wish you knew earlier in your struggle with diabetes?
That I'm not alone. I think that's what I wish I knew earlier because, like I said, since there is no awareness about diabetes, we don't speak about it. Yes, we are speaking about it in our little social media networks, but I don't think there is a major focus on diabetes on a national on a national capacity. So I just wish I knew that I wasn't alone.
Wow. And today, obviously, we're also wearing blue for diabetes. And this is a way that you guys would like to create awareness?
Yes, that's how we want to create awareness because the Sweet Lives campaign is Wear Blue for Diabetes and Know the Five. So we just want the whole of South Africa to wear blue today, and I'm happy that you guys are also wearing blue because we want the whole of South Africa to ask, why is everyone wearing blue? And then explain to them reason why you are wearing blue is because blue is a symbol color for diabetes. That's a way of raising awareness.
Absolutely. Siyabonga, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your story with us and creating awareness, like you say, on a national level. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.